Hello and welcome. Welcome to the Little Likac podcast. Today it's all about my trip to Yarndale last weekend. So this is not going to take the normal format of my podcast, and it's just going to be a Yarndale special. So I filmed some things when I was in Yarndale last weekend, and I have got a big show and tell section today. I'd saved up money to take with me. I'd saved up quite a bit of money and I spent quite a bit of money. So I've got lots to show you. My name is Amanda. I live in Derby in the United Kingdom. This is a knitting and crochet podcast, but today's episode is all about the amazing wool show that is Yarndale, that is held in Yorkshire in the UK, and it's one of the biggest yarn festivals in the country. So I'm going to show you the footage from the actual weekend first, and then you can come back here and I'll show you all my goodies. Morning everybody! It is about 8:20 on Saturday morning and we are on our way to Yarndale. Yay! Oh, you've got the alpaca in as well. So Kate is my lovely camera lady for the weekend. Hey Kate! And we're off to meet up with quite a few people, Kelly and Ange and Emma, and then Louise and Nina, and then tomorrow meeting up with more people. So we're going to have a really great weekend of looking at all the yarn, chatting about all the knitting projects that we're not going to do, but we are, but that's why we're buying the yarn, but they won't get done. And yeah, it's going to be a great weekend. See you later. we get into the Yarndale stuff, there is just something that I want to show you that's a finished project this week, because I want to show you now because these are being given away. So some of you may have seen on previous episodes that I was crocheting lots of pumpkins because I've got a colleague getting married in the October half term, and she wanted pumpkins to go on her wedding tables. So I did all those, 15 of them, and then a colleague at work did another 15, so she's got 30 pumpkins. But my youngest daughter, the one who's gone away to university, she thought they were very, very cute, so she asked me if I'd make some for her. So I've done these 3 as well. So I used Stylecraft Special Arran, not DK, Stylecraft Special Arran, and I think this one's colourway is called Copper, and that one is Parchment. So yeah, so she's got a little set of pumpkins that she's going to put in her room at university, but she's come home this weekend. She's been working, she's kept her job, and is just going to come home like once a month to do a few shifts at that job, then she can carry on working when she comes back in the holidays. Very sensible. Anyway, so she's going to be going back, getting the train back. Let me see what the time is now. Yeah, she'll be getting the train back soon, so she needs to take those with her. Alright, before I start with what I bought, let me show you what I'm wearing, because this is my, what did I call it? My funky chunky Yarndale cardi. And I finished it just in time. I finished it on, which evening? The Thursday night, I think. I was still sewing it together, and we went on the Saturday morning. It has a hood. So this is with the hood up, and it is just good fun. Lovely, warm, snuggly cardigan, knitted in a chunky yarn, Woolcraft yarn. It's called Pebble, I think. And it's 100% acrylic and cheap as chips. It was £5 a ball. So this jumper would have, or this cardigan would have only cost me £20 to have made, and it's really long as well. I'll put up a few pictures here. It's really long as well. However, I decided to make it in 4 different colours and stripe it. The original pattern calls for a self-striping variegated yarn. And anyway, I knitted it in these 4 colours, and literally I had knitted, well, I'd got to the sleeves and I knew I was going to need more of the pink because I'd used more of the pink, and I wanted to do all the border in pink. So, well, the shop that I bought it from, I said this was going to be about Yarndale, and this isn't Yarndale, but anyway, the shop that I bought it from, they're only open sort of like 9 till 3. During the school week when I'm at work, 9 till 3, and then at weekends they are open longer, but I am at home on the Saturday, not 20 miles away at work, and I bought it from a shop near where I worked. Anyway, cut a long story short, I messaged the owner, and she said yes, she'd got some more pink, and she actually dropped it off at my school because her daughter goes to my school, so she left it in reception for me and I just paid her online. However, I then got to the second sleeve and got halfway, or knew that I was only going to be able to get halfway to the second sleeve, and so I had to buy 1 more ball of each colour, which means I've got, I did use nearly all the pink, but I've got nearly a full ball of this one and this one. However, I've got at least 1 colleague expecting a baby, and I just thought, well, you know what, I'll buy them and I will use them maybe to make some chunky baby clothes. Anyway, so yeah, my funky chunky Yarndale cardi ended up effectively costing me £40 instead of £20. That's still not a bad buy, is it? Because I say I'm going to get 3 items easily out of the balls of the wool that's left over, 3 baby items or toddler items out of the wool that's left over the yarn. Right, so this is what I wore. I wore this on Saturday. It was very warm wearing this, so by about Saturday lunchtime it had come off, and I bought I was planning on maybe buying one of these anyway, but I bought a big Yarndale tote bag so that I could put my cardigan in it. Now let me see if I can remember correctly. I bumped into the lovely Heather. Hi Heather, it was really lovely to see you again. I met her there last year. I bumped into the lovely Marjorie. Hello Marjorie, it was really lovely to meet you. I know you often comment on my videos, so it was lovely to meet you. There were a couple of other people maybe Alison, and then there was also Suzanne. Hi Suzanne, who I knew was going to be going, and I'd kind of arranged to meet up with her on the Sunday. So there was Suzanne as well. Met up, well, I arranged to go with, well, I went with a few people from my knit group, but I'd also arranged it originally to meet up with Kelly from Row and Cades, and Emma and Ange. And then I also, only very briefly, but I did meet up with and said hello to Karen from Stitches and Jacks. Hi Karen. Dawn from Dawn's Days, and Jeanette from Crafty Clegs Creations. So I don't know if they watch my podcast. I think Karen does. I don't know if the other two watch it regularly, but it was just so lovely to bump into them or to meet up with them briefly. Had my photo taken with Jeanette and Dawn, which was quite funny because I'm probably about a foot taller than them, so I had to crouch right down. So yeah, the social side was lovely to see different people. And that was half of the enjoyment of it, actually, was saying hello to people. There were people, stall vendors, who I have met at other shows where either I've been selling or I've met them because I've gone to lots of shows. So I saw Hayley from Ducky Darlings. Hi Hayley. Pop from Happy Crow. Kelly from Lay Family Yarns. And yeah, just so lovely. Right, so what did I buy? This isn't really in the order that I bought it because I honestly couldn't remember exactly, but I might be able to say whether I bought it on the Saturday or Sunday. I do know a couple of things that I bought straight away. So one of the first things I bought, I did have a little list of a few things that I wanted to try and get. And one of those things was some brown yarn to use for to make a dress for Bryony. So Bryony, who you may know if you're a regular viewer of the podcast, is my great niece. I always used to say my niece's daughter, but I'm just going to say my great niece. And I had made her a gorgeous I made her a gorgeous rainbow dress, which was designed by the lovely Jane Burns, who I also met at Yarndale this weekend, which was lovely, really lovely to meet her. Anyway, so I made her the rainbow dress, and this summer she told me she wanted a teddy bear dress. And I've got an idea of how I'm going to do that. I can't find a pattern that's exactly right, but when I've looked at patterns, because she wants a dress that's like a brown dress, which looks like a teddy bear. So I think I found a way I'm going to do that. So one of the things I thought I'd look out for is some brown wool or yarn to use for her. And one of the first stalls I went to, I don't know if I've got the name of the stall on here, no. Anyway, they had packs of various commercial yarn at good prices. So 3-pack of this Ski Piers Soft Fun Denim, which is a DK, was £7.50. It's 60% cotton, 40% acrylic. Now, I have a feeling I'm probably going to need 4 balls of this, so just to be awkward. So I ended up buying 2 packs, but I still think £15 for 6 balls is really good. And we'll see how we go with that. So yeah, I've got a good idea of how I'm going to knit that, and it's for Christmas. So it is on it's on my list of things that need to get knitted in the next few months. The next podcast I do, I'm going to go through everything that I want to get done by the end of the year, because it feels like it's that time of year already. So yeah, that was one of there's going to be a lot of crinkling and rustling, I'm afraid, because things are still in paper bags and packages. But yes, so 6 balls of the Ski Peas Soft Fun Denim. It is 60% cotton and 40% acrylic. I did want to try and go for 100% cotton if I could for Bryony, but this should be good. Colour number is 508. I'm just checking that both of these packs are from the same dye lot, and they are, so that's good. So that's going to be used for Bryony's teddy bear dress. That was parcel number 1, purchase number 1, although I think it was actually purchase number 2, but that's what I've shown you. Okay, I'm going to end up just putting everything down on the floor. Alright, so then, yes, so actually the very first stall I went to was Rosie's Moments, and Rosie's Moments you may have seen before, and you'll have seen maybe a tiny bit of video or photo on the footage that all of us, the 6 of us that I was sort of staying with, we all got a Rosie's Moments mystery bag. These are always good fun. £16. You get 100 gram skeins. Sometimes you get some mini skeins thrown in there as well, and then all sorts of bits and pieces. Now this has had a few things swapped around because it included a tea bag, and I don't drink normal tea like green tea, white tea, black tea. I only drink fruit infusion tea. So there was a couple of swaps made. I got rid of my tea bag and I got a couple of extra coffee sachets and a few bits like that. But the actual yarn isn't in here. The actual yarn will be in one of the other bags. So I got a skein of yarn, which I will show you at some point. I also randomly got some Fox grease-proof paper, so I'm going to take that up and put it in the kitchen. Hand cream. You nearly always get some hand cream in Rosie's Moments mystery bags. Let's face it, if you are a knitter and use a lot of wool, you probably will get quite dry hands. So a little sewing pack with needles and thread. Some light bulb stitch markers, which I think actually might have been possibly been in somebody else's goodie bag. I got 2 little notebooks. Yes, I got 2 notebooks like this. I swapped one of these, so I kept the purple one. You will see there was a big theme of purple with me this year. So little notebook, which is often handy for making notes. Some wax melts, autumn swag, wax melts. That might have been a swap as well, actually. Some little buttons. These were definitely in mine that say handmade with love on them. Some washi tape. I love a bit of washi tape and I do use it. Some handmade labels, handmade with love labels. Then we go into the coffee. So we've got some coffee sachets. Oh, cute little stitch marker in a teeny tiny little tin. Love those little tins. Cute little daisy stitch marker. Remember, it was £16 and I got pretty much all of this, as well as a skein of yarn that I'll show you in a bit. Hot chocolate sachet, lip balm, a candle, although my candle doesn't seem to have a wick. Right, so those were all the goodies that were in the mystery bag, give or take, because I did swap a few things here and there. And there's a skein of yarn, which is in a different bag somewhere, so when we get to that, I will point it out. Okay, so those are all back in the Rosie's Moments bag. And then let's see if I can find the skein of yarn. Here is the skein of yarn that came in the Rosie's Moments mystery bag. Ta-da! And it is this beautiful deep blue. Ooh. Did you hear that? That's our doorbell.
Someone is at the doorbell.
I'd like to say that that is our doorbell because it's October and coming up to Halloween, but my husband actually has got that set as our doorbell all the time. A howling wolf. Right, anyway, so yeah, this is the Rosie's Moments. And Rosie's Moments always come, all her skeins of yarn come with a light bulb stitch marker with a bag of lavender, which I just love attached to it. This has got a name, Stormy Skies, and it is a deep blue, has got some darker bits of blue. It's more of a greeny blue, I would say, than it's showing on the camera there, but it is a beautiful colour and I think I would use that quite happily for socks. I think it makes a nice pair of socks. So yeah, it is just a standard 75-25, absolute lovely, beautiful colourway. So that was, but although that was the first thing I bought, the mystery bag, we didn't open those until we got back to the pub and to the hotel that evening. Oh, actually, yeah, we didn't do it in the pub, we went to Kate's room at the hotel. We stayed at just the Travel Lodge at Keighley because it was cheap and about 10 miles away from Yarndale, so it was good. Using my gorgeous mug. Okay, so I do like a bargain when I go to yarn shows. I always check out the bargain buckets first, and because you can get some amazing bargains, which I did this year. So I'm just going to sort of have a quick look and see what else we've got. As some of you know, purple is my favourite colour, and I really did go quite over the top with purple this year. So, right, so I've just done a little bit of shuffling around. So on my to buy list, I saw a dress knitted out of all 4-ply fingering sort of sock yarn a couple of months ago that I kind of fell in love with. I think it's called the Stumble Down dress. I'll put the name of it below. And originally it was a top and skirt, and then people started combining them, making it into a dress. And so the designer then released a pattern on the two combined. And I had it in my head that I wanted to do that in a purple fade, because I'd seen one of the other projects on Ravelry where they've done in a purple fade, and yeah, that's what I wanted to do. So I thought I'll have a look in the can't get my words out. I'll have a look in the bargain bucket, see if anything to start off the fade, and then from that point go round and try and match, go darker, go lighter. And there was quite a lot of purple in the a lot of the bargain buckets, and I started with 2 from the Dye Shack. And so these 2, they had about 6 or 7 skeins of purple yarn in their bargain bucket at the start of Saturday, and I went through and I kept picking them up, putting them down, and I went with these 2 because I think they go together really nicely. But you can see this one is lighter than that one. This one's called Liberty, this one's called Hex. I was just thinking there's a pop group called Liberty X, but I've got Liberty Hex here. And I thought, right, these are going to be my middle. And in my head, I thought I'm going to need 5 skeins. I'm now wondering if I'm going to need more, but I've got an idea of 2 skeins of yarn in my stash that might go, that I need to pull out and see. Anyway, so we went with these, got these 2 to begin with, and I thought, right, now I'm going to look for going lighter, going darker. So trust me, at this point I did a lot of looking around, and then I ended up at Jo Knit Sew. These were not in her bargain bucket, these were full price. So I got this one, which is going to be the lightest, and then this one. So we're going to go from there to there to there to there. And then the plan is to finish with that one. Now, as I say, I'm not so sure now whether 5 will be enough to do a full dress for me. But, so I'm going to have a look. I bought last year, I think in Yarndale, from Corner of Craft, some purple sparkly. And I think it was a dark purple and black sparkly. And I got 2 skeins of it. So I'm going to hold that with this. And if I think that goes, then I'm going to combine that into it as well. Or if not, if those don't go, then I'll have another think of something to do that's going to fade 5 skeins. But yes, I think those 5 are going to go together really nicely. And yeah, so these were Jo Knit Sew, and this one, see if it's got a name, it must have a name on it somewhere. Dreams of Lavender and Black. Purple Ronnie, and just the purple one. So Kate, Nina and Louise, who are all from my knitting group, they had a bit of a bet on how many skeins or balls of purple yarn I was going to buy, and they started off quite low. They started off on like 7 or 8 or something like that. Yeah, they had to keep increasing it. Continuing with this purple theme, and this may or may not have been the next thing I bought because I really can't remember, but I went to Woolly Cone's stall, and I think it's, no, Woolly Knit store, I think it is. And they've got lots of kits for, I say lots of kits, they've got maybe 3 or 4 sweater patterns that you could then buy the wool for, and they've got them kitted up. And I saw this pattern and I just thought it was really, really cute. Oh, try again. So really, really cute jumper with a little sheep on the around the bottom, and they've got it knitted up, and I thought that is adorable. And it came with all the yarn, so this is the pack for the larger sizes, and it was £35. £35. What have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 balls of wool. The wool itself is their Worth mill, and I think it is a DK, and the shade is Lupin, which I can't see, but I'm fairly sure it's a DK weight. And I just thought that pack was absolutely adorable and a really good price as well, £35. The wool does feel a little bit rustic. Hopefully it will soften a bit, but it's probably the kind of jumper I'm going to wear over other things anyway, not right next to my next to my skin. It says it is from Saddleworth, which is, I believe, in Yorkshire as well, so it is a British wool. Let's see if it says there what weight it is. Needle size 4mm, yeah, 22 stitches, so yeah. And it's Woolly Knit's own wool. So got that, very, very cute. So you've already seen my Yarndale bag, so I'm going to start putting things back in here. So that might have been all I bought on the first day. Looking around, oh no, I also got a ball of West Yorkshire Spinners, one of their Yarndale colours. Now normally West Yorkshire Spinners release a new colourway, self-striping colourway for Yarndale each year, but they didn't have a new one this year, so I've already got 2. I think I've got Barbara and Nigel from when I went last year, so I picked this one up this year, and this is Hope. So it's just obviously a simple self-striping yarn, West Yorkshire Spinners, but it is one of the Yarndale colourways. Aha, I have just remembered something else I bought on the first day. So John Arban were there, and John Arban are actually a British mill from Devon. And they were there, and they were actually having a massive sale on one of their main yarns that they sell, which is called Colour by Numbers, and I think they're changing the yarn base that they're using, and because of that they are selling off, clearing all of the old yarn base, and they were selling skeins of their Colour by Numbers 4-ply fingering weight for £12 a skein, and they've got lots of different colours, and then they also got some patterns, and they've got a sample of this tee, Waffle, by her, Carrie Helen Rain, and I really liked the top in real life in person. Thought it was lovely, so I picked up the pattern, and then the actual colourway they'd got, the colour they'd done it in, they hadn't got that exact shade left, so I went a couple of shades darker, and it is purple. So I got those 4 skeins. It is lovely and soft. It is, does it tell us what it's made from? Pure Falklands merino wool. So that's unusual, I think, to get merino wool from Falklands. Is that unusual? I don't know, because to me Falklands is quite a cold climate, and I thought merino sheep were usually in warm climates. Anyway, it is hand wash only, so I don't know that it's superwash, I must remember that. And it is organically farmed, and yeah, £12 a skein, very good price. So I would like to knit that. I'd like to knit it this year, but I think in reality it's probably going to be in next year's pile, because I have got so many things. Well, I've got a list of things to get done this year, but I really liked the top, and it looked really nice in person. So yeah, that was from John Arban. I don't know if they're doing the £12 offer online. I'd say have a look because it's very good value. Okay. So now we're going to talk about a little secret part, and if any of Eloise's friends are watching, please don't tell her. So as some of you know, my eldest daughter has got into crochet, and she asked me for a wool winder for her birthday, and made my heart sing. She doesn't really use indie yarn because she's a student and it's expensive, so she usually uses acrylic, but she finds the big balls of acrylic quite often get unwound and get tatty, so I did get her a Knit Pro wool winder, but I also thought I'll have a look for some indie yarn for her. I thought I'll get her some DK weight, and so no peeking, Eloise. So I need to show you this as well because we'll be taking it up to her for her birthday soon. So this was from Temporal Spin, and it was in there. I've got a feeling it was in her bargain box, and it's the colourway is called Psychedelic Bifrost, and it's 80% superwash merino, 20% bamboo. Look at that. Absolutely amazing. And then I thought I'll have a look to see if I could get anything else to go with it, because I thought, what can you crochet with 100 grams of DK? Wasn't sure how much she would actually be able to crochet with that. So I went to Happy Crow, and they've got a bargain bucket, and I had a little look to see if they'd got anything DK, and I got that, which hasn't got a colourway name, and that, which I thought she could put it together if she wants, or she can just do something separate with them, but I just thought they were really fun, bright colours, and I'm hoping she will love those. Oh, and then I got a free stitch marker, so I picked a little skull and crossbones as the free stitch marker. I think it might have been from a Happy Crow actually, the stitch marker. Can't get that, but it keeps flicking around, doesn't it? There we go. It's a little skull and crossbones stitch marker for her. Bought those on the second day, and this is kind of when things went a little bit crazy around the bargain buckets. So I'd seen on the first day, I'd seen these in a bargain bucket and loved them for all sorts of reasons, but thought they're DK, I don't know what I'd make with them, and left them. But I kept thinking about them, so then I thought, right, on the Sunday afternoon, I thought I'm going to go and have another look. If they are still in the bargain bucket, I'm getting them, but only if they're both there, and they were. So this was from Sable Yarns, she was actually closing down, so she was selling off everything very cheaply, and by the Sunday afternoon she'd reduce things even further. So these were in the bargain bucket. I don't know what her full price would have been for them, but she'd reduced them to 13, and then she reduced them again to £10 each. But yes, more purple, I know, very similar to what I'd already got, but beautiful. So 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, but DK, and the colourway is Purple Rain. So big Prince fan here, and yeah, the fact that they were still there the next day, I had to go back and get them. She also had one called Purple Rain in 4-ply fingering weight, but actually as a self-striping. So, and again, that was down to £10, which for self-striping, I think originally it would have been about 22. So, had to get that. Then this is also DK weight. Where was this from? This was a Happy Crow. So when I got the pink and the blue for Eloise, I picked this up for me. This is 70% merino, 30% linen. But I don't, well, maybe I could put it with those. But I'm still not sure what I can do with 3 skeins of DK, which is a bit of a pain because I've also got 3 skeins of DK. from another place. Sorry if I'm rushing through this. This is from the Yarn Artist, and as you perhaps can guess, she's inspired by different artists. And then so I've got two here which were inspired by Monet's Chrysanthemums. Thought this was beautiful. And then there was another one inspired by Damien Hirst, which I also really liked. And there was part of me wondering if I could put those together. And again, maybe, no, I don't think it would go with that. So yeah, so I've got those three. So again, not 100% sure what I'm doing with it. I had in my head the idea for a yoke jumper, starting with that one at the top, going into those, but then I don't know what I'd put at the bottom. But I have to have a look and see what else I've got in DK. So yeah, all of that was from Bargain Buckets. And then there was another Bargain Bucket. And again, I was thinking fate. I mean, to be fair, I kept trying to buy things that I thought could go together. And look at these. So this is from a company called Twinkle Knits, or Twink Knits. And you're going to see, I'm really sorry if you don't like purple. If you don't like purple, you're going to be so bored in this podcast. So we've got this one, which is just cream with your purple speckles, really. It's got some lilac there. Then we go into this one, which has got the purple and then some pinks coming in. And then we finish with this one, which has got the same sort of purple lavender bit here, and then the same pink, and then into this beautiful blue as well. Now I was thinking something like a summer sorrel with this for next summer. It's all 80-20, 80 merino, 20 nylon, so it's really soft. And I'm thinking potentially a summer sorrel with this one. So, and I've not even mentioned yet that on the Sunday morning, I started the day with a workshop. And this was a workshop for drop spindle spinning. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to give up my day job. But I did enjoy it. So, this was with the Slow Yarn Spinner. So this is what we got given this actually to keep from the workshop. This was my spindle that I used, and this was my first yarn that I created. Oh, I did have it wound into a little mini skein. Now this is plied as well, so you can see it is definitely very much an art yarn at this stage. We have some parts, look at that, look at that there, you know, that actually looks, and some of it doesn't even look like it's spun, does it? So that's definitely going to take a little bit of practice, but I really enjoyed the workshop. It was good fun. And so of course, if I was going to carry on having a go at the spinning, I needed something to spin with. So the lady who did the workshop, the Slow Yarn Spinner, I went to her stall and bought some of this. Now I found it easier to spin from this. This apparently is called Rolag, and I found it easier to spin from that. So I've also got some Blue Faced Leicester in there that I can practice with before I start with the beautiful pretty Rolag. And then also Sable Yarns, the one which was having the big sale, she had also got some fibre, and by this point this was down to £5. So this is merino and silk, so I bought two. There's this one and this one, £5 each. So yeah, I thought I'm just going to play with it anyway at some, God knows when. So this Slow Yarn Spinner, we will attempt to spin some yarn and have a play with that. So there were a couple of other non-knitting bits that I bought. Obviously, actually, I suppose the spinning's not knitting. I bought a beautiful project bag, and this was one of those moments where I just walked past the stall, and it was quite a plain stall. They didn't have a huge amount there. What's the name of the company? The Cocoon Tree. And this was hanging up, and I just stopped, and I knew in my head how much I was prepared to pay for it, and I thought, if it's that price or under, I am buying that. If it's more than that, I'm not. So I asked how much it was, and it was within my price. And it's this beautiful project bag in this lovely tweed. Just take it out of the bag. Now, it isn't Harris tweed, but obviously it looks quite a lot like Harris tweed. And the lining inside it is Scottish looking as well. Isn't it absolutely beautiful? So yeah, it's the Cocoon Tree, Etsy shop, the Cocoon Tree, and yeah, it looks all very professional, I have to say. So that's beautiful, lovely, lovely little project bag. And last, no, not quite last, as you might remember, last Christmas I got a big weaving loom, no, it's not a big weaving loom, a weaving loom that sort of big, which I haven't done anything on yet because I'm a bit nervous about it. So I actually got a little kit which shows you how to do some different designs, and look, I've even warped it up. And this was from Tabby and Tweed. So I thought I could have a little practice, and they said that because this kit came with 3 or 4 instructions for 3 or 4 designs, and they said, yeah, use this to get you started before you go onto your bigger loom. And I thought, yes. So I'm going to be honest, when I look now at the price of this, I think this was quite expensive for what it is, but yeah, I think I'm paying more for the instructions than anything else. So I'm not gonna say that this was a good buy. Everything else I bought, I felt really happy with the prices I paid. This one afterwards, I thought, really, is that really worth that much money? So anyway, I might have got myself a little bit just caught up in the moment there. And then the last things, I got some, I don't know, what do you call these? Sock wraps, things that you put around your sock, hand knit socks if you're making them as a gift to somebody. So I thought they were lovely, and they're from Tilly Flop Designs. She does postcards and cards and things like that. So yeah, that is my Yarndale hoard. It is quite a hoard, isn't it? Yeah. And when I showed you that bag a minute ago, which I said looks quite Scottish, it reminded me, I still haven't shown you my proper hoard from Edinburgh, but I will save that. I'd said about doing Vlogtober. I've decided not to do Vlogtober because one of the main things I'm going to be knitting through October, I can't show you because it is the pattern for the sample for the shawl pattern for the advent calendar. And so that's secret, so I can't show you that, and I'm probably going to be knitting that every day for the first 2-3 weeks of October. So I thought that's going to be a fairly boring vlog if all I'm saying is, oh no, I've knitted for 2 hours today, but I can't show you what I've knitted. But I'm thinking instead I might, and also I've got the advent calendars set out to send out. So again, I'm not going to be able to show you packing the advent calendars because it's all secret. So I thought I will maybe vlog in November, when I'll be knitting on more interesting things, hopefully, that I can actually show you anyway. And yeah, so I think I'm going to try and vlog in November. I have been showing you my haul for 40 minutes. There's however many minutes of the footage from Yarndale as well, so I'm going to leave it for there for today. It'll take me ages as well to edit the actual Yarndale video. So thank you for joining me today and for watching, and yeah, hopefully, well, I hope you've enjoyed that. Yes, there was a lot of purple. I think it was 22 skeins of purple yarn, so it's all about the purple for me this time. But yes, so next time I record a podcast, I will show you all the other things that I've been working on and finishing the last couple of weeks, because there's been quite a few things. And that's it really from me this time. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.